Hey gang, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and getting around our islands is one of the most important parts of the game. After all, most of the gameplay takes place on our beautiful islands where we spend all our time interacting with items and different villages. Now, as we know, inclines are an important tool allowing you to reach the different levels of your island, which is great. However, having inclines might actually be a bad thing. Not too long ago, these expensive inclines were the best way to get up the cliffs on your island like I mentioned, however that has all changed now. In 2.0 they introduced the ladder setup kit, which basically allows you to create permanent ladders around your island, and personally I think this might be one of the most underrated features in the entire game. There's actually a lot of different reasons which may prove that inclines could now be a waste of your time and your bells too. For those of you who don't have too many bells, inclines can be incredibly expensive. Even the cheapest one is still one of the more expensive things in the entire game, whereas ladders are so much cheaper. Once you've bought the kits from Nook's Cranny, you can start crafting them, and they only take a few materials in order to get. That is drastically better than the huge price tag that comes with most of the inclines. That's not to mention that the vines, which work basically the same as the ladder setup kits, are free. You can just go and collect them either from a Carpentor Island or the Happy Home Paradise Archipelago, and you can get absolutely tons of those. No materials are required since they are a material themselves, which is really handy. We all know that by default you can only have 8 inclines on your island, and you can actually upgrade this to 10 now thanks to Animal Crossing's 2.0 update. However, with ladders you can effectively have an unlimited amount around your island. I have so many different vines and ladders hanging around which help me navigate, and honestly it is so convenient. You can basically put them wherever you would like, which makes them a lot better than inclines in that regard, since you're also limited with how you can actually position the inclines. Talking of positioning, if you want to actually remove an incline from your island, you are charged a fee of 10,000 bells. However, if you want to remove a ladder, you simply just pick the item up and boom, it's in your inventory and you can move it wherever you want. However, if you want to move an incline, you have to first of all demolish it and then choose an entirely new place, then go and donate, and honestly it feels like such a process just to do the simple task of moving your incline to a different space. Not to mention that you don't get back any of the bells that you spent creating the first incline if you don't like where you positioned it earlier. In 2.0 they actually reduced the cost of certain things like moving your villagers' homes around the island, but for some reason they didn't reduce the price of this, so you still have to deal with the full brunt cost of moving your inclines or simply deleting them if you don't want them anymore. If you're not really worried about convenience or bells, then let's talk about the fact that ladders can be customized in many different ways, and you can get lots of different designs for the ladder setup kits that you can get. This is honestly really cool, and these can help fit your island super well. However, you cannot customize inclines. They're basically set in their ways. There's a few different designs which honestly I do find really cool. I like the designs of a lot of these inclines, but they may not fit your island that well, and having inclines that don't suit the vibe of your island could really change or even ruin in some cases the aesthetic of what you've got going on. I know that when I've been trying to make a city core island, I've really struggled with these ladders because none of them have really felt like they've fit. After all, you do have the metal ones, but they're stuck in blue and red, and those aren't colors that I really associate with my city core islands. Like I'm showing though, there are so many different options for the ladder setup kits, and I really love that. I also love how they come in different styles as well. Most of the inclines look fairly similar in their own ways. Of course they do have their own shapes and sizes. However, the ladders have totally different looks, and of course like I mentioned with the vines earlier, that's completely different. It feels like a totally different item even though it works the same way. It would have actually been really cool if Nintendo did introduce the ability to customize the inclines and bridges on your island, but sadly this isn't something they decided to do. I really don't get that, to be honest with you. We could have had so many different cool options, but sadly it was just not meant to be. Another really cool bonus that you might not actually know about is the fact that you can place vines and ladders vertically, which is of course something you cannot do with an incline. This is really neat, and it means you can navigate up those cliffs vertically just like you could with your own ladder, which is a really cool feature and definitely makes it so much more convenient to get around. Inclines are obviously limited with their positioning, so you can never place them vertically, which is such a shame. Again, this would have been a really cool feature and addition to the game, but for some reason Nintendo didn't give us this. I really hope in the next entry we do get a lot of vertical furniture and inclines though, that would be really neat. Another good bonus is that you can simply trade these ladders and vines with other players, which means they're easy to share around. Of course, you cannot trade an incline. You can trade bells to help someone get an incline, but you'd be giving away a lot more than you would be if you were just giving away some ladder kits or vines that you've picked up. However, I do have to say that inclines are much more convenient to interact with than ladders. After all, you don't have to press the A button every time you want to go up an incline, you can simply just walk up it, which does feel really seamless, and I do like that a lot. With the ladder setup kits, you do have to press A every time you want to use them, just like if you were using your own ladder around your island. Of course though, unlike your own ladder, they stay in place permanently, so you don't have to worry about having it in your inventory. To be honest, with the ladder setup kits, you don't even really need to bring your regular ladder with you anywhere either, since you can just use the ladder setup kit and place it where you would like. Nintendo didn't add an equivalent for bridges, so really they are the best way of getting over the water still. I know some people do make these land bridges, which honestly I think are really creative and can look super cool, but I've never felt like they look super integrated with the island, since you can always kind of tell they are built on land. With the ladder setup kits, they are of course an integrated feature within the game, so it feels very natural to go up them and use them as your inclines. Of course, I do understand that so many people have more bells than they know what to do with, so making inclines may not be a worry in that regard, but like I described, there are lots of reasons that just make the ladder setup kits much better than the inclines, at least in my opinion. Of course, I'm still going to use the inclines that I've got around my island. I'm not going to take the time to remove them now that I've created them, and I still think there are good reasons to use inclines, especially the fact that you can go up them so seamlessly. However, it may be worth considering using the ladder setup kits and vines around your island a lot more, as they just make navigating around so much more convenient. I honestly feel like when I've been visiting random dream islands lately, I haven't seen that many people using the ladder setup kits and vines, so it'd be cool to see more and more people use them, as honestly they're such a great and underrated feature in my opinion. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? Are you a big fan of the ladder setup kits and vines, or do you prefer the classic inclines? Definitely let me know if you've been using any of these on your own island. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you made to the end of the video, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. I want to give a big thanks to these channel members for their continued support of me and what I do here on this channel. If you want to become a channel member, click the join button down below the video or the link in the description to learn more. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks like exclusive emojis, a badge by your name, access to our members only Discord and our members only podcast too.